Excuse the mess in here today because I'm just being a slob. My payday, but I've decided not to go shopping today because something's been bothering me, and I mean really bothering me for the last couple of days. Had a slight verbal disagreement with a family member, a female one, who, as you know, they can be very vindictive when they want to be. But anyway, this wasn't vindictive at all. This was simply something that I've been watching out for over a course of time. Been swatting up on the subject, you might say. Watching out for these trigger events that they said, yeah, sure enough, they'll happen every single time. So just keep your eyes open for them. If you notice that happening, stop what you're doing, address it straight away, set boundaries, which was exactly what I did. Someone else's narcissistic behaviour, right, that I've been saying about for a while, but it's been so sneakily done all my life that if I try to talk about it to anybody, I'm the one that ends up sounding mad about it, because there couldn't possibly be anything wrong with that person. Right. Anyway. Turns out that what the disagreement was first of all, I was being built up with compliments, and I thought, here we go. So I was waiting for the next thing. Build you up, slap you down. Sure enough, that came next, but it was done in a way that was very discreet, and then just sort of mentioned as a matter of fact in the conversation, and then moved straight on to the next subject that was bothering me, which was the courts. But I wasn't worried about the courts. That's the thing. It was only that person that wanted me to worry about the courts and keep talking about it and keep it in my mind. Keep the fear going. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, the result of the court so far is so the £122 is a surcharge, which is a tax. So I bought a £5 D-lock from that same post office, and then I got taxed £122 on top of it for defending myself against someone who ran at me. Because I was told I could have killed him. Well, he could have killed me when he fucking gassed me, and that's what the court was told. So when it came down to awarding compensation to the Smurfit bitch next door, I'll just call him Smurfit because it's easier than actually naming him by his real name, which is in the word Smurfette. But it's just easier for me to demean him because he's a little bitch and acting like a little bitch, which was why he got fucking slapped after he gassed me and assaulted me. Yes, in court, when they threatened to lock me up for 6 months plus for that. I sat there in court, looking in the judge's eyes as he was threatening me, drinking orange juice with bits in out of a plastic bottle in front of him. Little did he know, though, that I was actually smiling as I was drinking a lethal overdose in front of him. You think you're going to threaten me, eh, for defending my life against the man who tried to kill me? This is what I think of your justice. So I drank half of it. There was 40, 60 ml dihydrocodone in it, and I drank half of it puking my guts up I was by the end of the court case. Well, I didn't even make it to halfway stage. So they made they knew exactly what was happening because they actually saw me being sick all over the place, violently being sick, where I was overdosing, and then I was completely off my head in court, looking at the ceiling and just drifting about, do you know what I mean? Am I fit enough to continue? I said, I just want it over. Now that was took as, yes, I'm medically competent to defend myself against you parasites in court. That's how they took it. But really, whatever was said in that court could never have stood up in a normal court of law because I was heavily under the influence of painkillers and was actually dying in front of them. The fact that I'd been 7 days without eating deliberately to make them work quicker in court was timed in a way so if they'd tried to lock me up within a couple of hours of being restrained, I would have died in that cell. Simple as that. So they said they're going to adjourn it for sentencing now, you're free to go. So because I was able to leave the court unrestricted, I was able to forcefully eject everything from my body and wake up in the morning, which I did. And then I had to wait another month for it all to go on again. So I thought, well, this time I'm not going to take the same tactic because they're going to try and prevent it, aren't they? Yeah, they again made me drink some more of the drink because I took a clear bottle of water this time with me. They didn't realise that I'd already plugged 30 dihydrocodeine, which I could have got to within 30 seconds of being put in a cell restricted. So, same result. So, you know, I didn't cower in fear. I literally was sick of it, just wanted it to be over. So, that's what happened. My whole medical record was gone through while they was sentencing and everything. Said, well, we think you could benefit from this or that. Go talk in a group. I thought, oh fuck's sake, they want me to go to a fucking prayer group now. What a fucking bundle of joy this is. You know what I mean? Okay, you don't read the same because you're us anymore, so we're going to force you to go and sit in a fucking group of them and listen to whatever they say. And you have to do it or you'll be back in it. All right, whatever sort of attitude. Then it got read out in court while all these figures are being bandied about. First of all, it was 600 quid odd. So they're bandying all these numbers about. It's just going over my head because I'm thinking like, right, well, I'm going to die in that cell in a minute, so it don't matter. Whatever they're discussing now is just fucking mind games, isn't it? So we got to that. I put a statement online the day before the court case saying like, yeah, I was told not to say anything at all about the fact that my neighbour tried to murder me, that he gassed me. Why? Why would my own solicitor say that? It would have changed the case. That would have been the justification. Oh, that's why he did it. But it simply wasn't mentioned in court. But it came up in the sentencing. And that was the only reason that the next door neighbour didn't get given or awarded any compensation. Not to save my skin, to keep me out of prison or keep me from the threat of prison or anything. The court was kept in ignorance until the end. And then when it came to the final totting up of the numbers, the judge turned around and said, well, he said, I'm not going to be awarding compensation in this case, because I think it'll be detrimental and we'll start the whole thing off again. If the man's tried to kill him, and as this man said, he then set me up afterwards to cover up what he'd done, this man's going to act very, very badly if that man's awarded compensation. So I'm simply not going to award the compensation because of what this man's been through himself. Now that should be an end to the matter. And I thought, right, okay, yeah, I can live with that. So basically you're taxing off me what the doctors have not got from me in medication over the course of a year. The £10 a month you pay to the NHS for prescriptions that I couldn't take because my behaviour was being manipulated along with the medication. That's why I couldn't take it, and that's why I've been having all these problems since. So I've got my doctor's full support now on the medication that I need to be taking, and the doctors actually admitted that it was the amitriptyline when I was manipulated, when my mood was manipulated. Because that neighbour there was related to the one that died, that side. They was related. I didn't know that. Only in-laws, but they was related. But that man there kept an argument going between that neighbour there and myself. And I said, no, there is no argument. We squashed that beef. That's over. He's just trying to keep it going for whatever reason he's trying to keep it going for. Watch him. And then I saw him pull him to one side again, and the man that side's, by now his blood pressure's going through the roof, and he got ill and he died from it. Yeah, that was him responsible for that. Anyway, that's what Smurfette bitches do, innit? They play everybody off against each other like fucking narcissists. And that's what I've been dealing with today. 2 days ago I had the same sort of thing happen to me from a family member. So, bearing in mind all my past got thrown at me in court. So they're looking and they're trying to advise me on what groups I should be going to and that sort of stuff. And it's like, so I brought it up with the family member the other day, 2 days ago. I said, yeah, you realise what happened to me as a child is affecting what's happening to me as an adult now. And she said, oh, I'm very sorry that that happened to you. But you got to admit your behaviour as a child was very disruptive in school. This is as a primary school kid. And then the conversation was switched on to something else, off on another tangent she went. I said, hang on a minute, rewind that a bit. What did you just say? My behaviour as a child was so disruptive as in primary school that everything that happened to me was my fault. That's what you just said. And then when I brought it up, it was all turned around on me as though, oh, no, now you're trying to turn it all around on me, you know. I thought, right, no, I don't be needing this no more. So I've just spoken to another family member about it. And she'd actually tried to preempt me complaining to him about it. I've been sitting on it for 2 days, unsure whether I should mention it to anybody for fear of being fobbed off as just going off on one again, ain't you? You know, because that's the way I've been painted. So, yeah, that's what's been going on. Lovely. Good news in the family as well, though, but I'm not going to be talking about that until I'm allowed to. So we're going to get on with that. Yeah, like that song a lot. Gang, gang. That's what I need to be focusing on. Get myself a nice girl, settling down with my gang, gang. And only that. No interfering, domineering parents, nothing. Just that. Right, what we got here? Earthquakes. So this is why I'm doing a bit of focusing today and getting back into what I used to enjoy before I got sidetracked with all this bullshit and games. I'm seeing Mid-Atlantic ridge drain. Dutch Sense is having issues at the moment. He's just lost a cat, so he's a bit upset. I saw he posted a video, but let him do his grieving first before I get back over on that site again. There's been too much stuff for me to deal with. It's took its toll, so for that reason I stopped going in them groups, and let's just say 4 days that I do. Let's ping it around this way to the Mid-Atlantic ridge. So we've got one off the Canada one that's going to drain into that. Yeah, there's one. It's going back too far now for it to be affecting that. It's got to be normal activity on Ring of Fire then. Right, let's have another look at it. East Timor, Tonga, Vanuatu, Philippines. Yeah, that's all the signatures of a Mid-Atlantic drain. Recycle. Never mind, I'll have a look at that later on. What else we got? Minor spikes going on, but everything's calmed down properly now. UK, Valentine's Day, 3.1 in Central North Sea. Right, let's have YouTube on for a bit. How are we doing record time? 5 minutes. Quick look through here. Ugh, what a load of plop. I bet National Media is exactly the same. Just a go-to site, nothing else. I don't use it for any other reason. Right. COVID and Royals, eh? Same old, same old. So let's stick YouTube on. I'll sit with that for a while. Yeah, I see someone else is slowly getting back into his thing. Pretty good. He's not taking it laying down, so he's laughing and joking back. I watched one of his last night and then saw the response to it today, and then he popped up a response to that response, and I thought, well, that didn't take long for that to start off again. But I see the point behind what he's saying about it all. We weren't that far wrong in court about court. Except for the compensation side of it. Because, like I said, I had been telling the truth, and at the end of it all, they heard that. So it was admitted in court. After the neighbour admitted that he'd been lying in court. And that was due to a video that I had, an audio recording of him threatening violence in my garden. So, good job I did record it, really. So that's the result of it so far, plus the other thing with the probation. I don't even know what they want yet, and whatever other orders that get sent through by the solicitor when it's all done. Right, Roxy, fuck off. You are not having lemon biscuits, alright? They got chocolate on them, fuck off. Go and eat your gravy bones. No creeping, you're not getting them. They're chocolate. End of the subject. Go away. Yeah, so that's what's been going on. We've been playing, mucking about. Been keeping myself as active as I can. Mentally, no problems. Physically, a few. But I'm working around them. It's a disability I have to live with. Bike's still okay. House is still okay. Don't have to pump tyres up no more because I've got a bike pump electric one now, so that makes life a little bit more easier. Got a load of washing to do soon, and that's my normal life. So I'm going to have a play with the dog, but that's how it all went. So yeah, I'd like to thank that man because he weren't far off the advice what he did say. I do acknowledge that he said it though. But personal harm, no, he didn't get that because he'd harmed me first, which was what I'd said all along. So all the worrying and all the other stuff that was going on as well, that was from the family narcissist that was playing games with my head all the way through it. Because I have to be scared of the system that she bows down and doth her come to. If you see what I mean. But I'm not one of those that stands on processions and all that bullshit. I'm simply not fucking interested. Roxy's been rewarded. She's got to snatch his old toy because it was only sitting there collecting dust. Use the bitch now, ain't you, Roxy? Good girl. Give me that toy. Give me that toy. Give me that toy. Give me it. Follow it. Good girl. Yeah. My sons are doing okay. They're all doing what they should be in life. Everything else is good. It's just a case of now get that out of the way, I can start thinking about settling down in life and getting on with life again. And moving away or staying here and filling the house, which would annoy them much, much more, wouldn't it? So we'll see what life has for me next. A few munchies and that tonight. And then tomorrow, now my leg's recovered properly. I had a proper big bruise on my leg there. It stopped me from doing a lot of stuff, so that's why I've been taking it easy the last week or so, really. But yeah, we've all got stuff to deal with. But it's how we get through it all. You nearly went arse backwards then, didn't you, Roxy?